Hello guys and welcome. My name is Ihuoma Judith and today I'll be showing you guys how I made this statement crunchy headband. If this is something you're interested in, please keep watching. The materials we'll be needing are our fabric, our headband, we'll be making use of our glue, our scissors, a measuring tape, needle and thread, chalk, office pin and safety pin. Firstly, I cut my fabric at 60 inches by length and 10 inches by width. This is going to be serving as our main piece for the crunch. Then the next piece we are going to be cutting is going to be called the lining piece. Then it's going to be 15 inches by length and 4 inches by width. And also, I cut a 20 inches by length and 3 inches by width in two places. This is going to be used for folding our headband. Firstly, we are going to fold the two pieces that we'll be using to wrap our headband into two like so and so straight down. We'll fold this and sew straight down. This will be used to be wrapping our headband. Then we'll keep this aside. Then the next step we are going to do is the main piece that we are using for our crunchy. We'll fold it into two like so and sew straight down by half an inch. Now that we have sewed those pieces that we are using to wrap our headband like this, as you can see, we are going to turn the fabric inside out like this. So I'm making use of a broom. You can use any small object that can pass through that hole without tearing the fabric, and we are going to turn the inside out like so. I'm repeating the same for the other piece like so. I'm folding it and I'm turning it inside out like this. And if you notice, I made sure that that line is at the middle side, so make sure your line is at the middle side. Then I went out to iron it. So our main piece like this, I'm going ahead to fold it inside out. So go ahead and fold your own inside out like so. As you can see, I'm using my hands to turn my main piece inside out like so because the space is wide enough to fit my hand. So now that I'm done turning my fabric inside out, I'm going to place that sewing part at the middle like this. So go ahead and make sure that the sewing line is at the middle of your main piece. So after I was done, I'm going to get something like this. So the next thing now I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead now and bring that my lining casing. So this my lining casing, as we measured before, is 15 inches long and 4 inches wide. So the next thing I'm going to do is with my safety pin, I'm going to pin one end of my lining casing and I'm going to pass it through the opening of my main piece. So I'm going to be passing it through, but I'll make sure that the other end does not go in completely into the main piece. So with my safety pin, I'm going to gradually pull through. So before that, I'm going to pin that one end of my lining casing together with my main piece using my office pin. This is going to enable my fabric from not disappearing, because if you notice, the main piece is longer than the lining casing. So with my safety pin, I'm going to gradually pull through till I get to the other end of the main piece. And as you're noticing, we are getting that our crunch effect that we want. So now that we have gotten to the other end of the main piece, I'm going to use my safety pin and I'm going to pin down the lining casing together with the main piece like so. So now that I'm done pinning them down, I'm going to go to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew through, joining that lining casing together with the main piece, and I'm going to repeat the same for the other end. So here on my sewing machine, I am joining the lining casing together with the main piece, and if you notice, I am sewing only on just one side of the main piece. So I did not join the two sides together. So I've gone ahead and I'm repeating the same for the other end of the main piece. So after I am done sewing, you're going to be getting something like this. So now we are going to close both ends together. So I'm just cutting off the excess hair on the fabric. So if you're having excess hair on your fabric, you can just trim it off. So this is the way we are going to close both ends. As you can see, I am folding in by 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to join it together like so. Please watch carefully. I folded it in by 1/2 inch before I closed it. So on my sewing machine, I'm going to go ahead and close down the ends together. And as you're noticing here, the rough edges are not showing again. So after I was done with this end, I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same for the other end of the crunch. So now that I'm done, as you can see, the both ends are closed like this. You're going to be getting something like this. So I'll go ahead and keep this aside. So this is our fabric that we're using to fold our headband. I went ahead and ironed it, and as I told you earlier, make sure that that sewing line is at the middle side like so. So we are going to go ahead now and bring our headband. So we are working with this headband. So here I am just going to use my chalk and trace the middle of the headband. So I was not so sure, so I went with my measuring tape and measured the middle side of my headband, and I went and traced out the accurate line. So now I've gotten my new middle line. So the next thing I'm going to do is to apply gum at the end of the headband. So here I'm applying gum. So I cut out a tiny piece. You can cut out any tiny piece. So I cut out a 2 inches by 1 inches into 2, and I picked one of the fabric, and I am going to place it on the end of that headband like so, just to cover the edge of the headband. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same on the other end of the headband. So with my tiny piece, I'm going to cover it like this. So I'm going to press the gum. Here I'm just pressing the gum to make sure that it's glued perfectly on the headband. So now that I'm done, I'm going to just fold it in. Please follow this video carefully. I folded it in, then I brought one piece of the fabric I'll be using to fold the headband, and I'm going to be turning it over like so. So I just opened it up and applied gum before I covered it, just to hold the fabric together firmly. So here I'm just pressing the fabric onto the gum so that it's going to be tight. So after I applied gum, I'm going to turn over my fabric like so. So we are going to repeat the same process till we reach the middle of that headband. So here I'm just pressing my fabric onto the headband, making sure that the gum is holding the both the headband and the fabric together. So here I'm just applying another gum at the end, and I'm using my fabric to wrap round the headband. So I'm going to do the same thing till I've gotten to the middle of the headband. So please, if you have gotten to this part of this video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and this is going to serve as a motivation for me. Thank you and God bless you. So like I said, you're going to repeat this process till you have gotten to the middle part of the headband. Please, this is a gradual process. Do not be in a rush. Take your time to ensure a clean and a neat finished work. Also, remember that sewing line that we kept at the middle of the fabric. Ensure that it's facing down on your headband. So as you can see, we have gotten to the middle part of our headband. We are going to just gum down our fabric. So here I'm just gumming down my fabric like so, and I'm going to just press it, make sure that the fabric is sticking down to the headband like so. So I am done gumming it, and as you can see, the one end of the headband is looking clean and neat, and we're going to repeat the same process for the other end of the headband. So we're going to just apply our gum at that end of the headband, and we are going to cover down the piece we use in covering the edge of the headband. So after that, we are going to use the fabric for wrapping our headband to wrap down our headband. But before we go ahead and wrap our fabric around the headband, we're going to apply glue on that piece to enable the fabric we are using to wrap around to stick. Then we are going to repeat the same process until we have gotten to the middle part of the headband. So as usual, we are going to apply gum at the edge and we are going to press down our fabric we are using to fold round the headband, and we are going to do that until we have gotten to the middle part of the headband. So as usual, we are going to apply our gum and press down our fabric, then wrap around the headband like so. Apply our gum, press down our fabric and wrap down the headband like so. So now if you notice, it's just remaining a small opening, so we are going to apply our glue there and press down our fabric. So after we are done, as you can see, we have wrapped closed everywhere. So what we are going to do now is to cut off this excess fabric remaining. So we are going to just mark down where we are going to cut our fabric, the length we are stopping. So now we have marked it with our chalk. We're going to go ahead and use our scissors and cut off that excess piece. Now that we have cut off the excess piece, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that rough edge like this so that when we are closing it, the rough edge will not show. So as you can see now, I am folding that rough edge inside the piece like so, as you can see. And the next thing I'm going to do now is to gum it down to the headband like this, and it's going to be looking like this. As you can see, we are done wrapping our headband. So we're going to use a little bit of alcohol to just clean off the gum, and it's going to appear neat. So the next thing now we are going to do is to bring our crunch, and we are going to place our crunch on top of the headband like this. We are going to position it the way we want, and we are going to use our needle and thread and sew down the crunch on top of the headband. So I gave 1.5 inches space from the edge of the headband to where my crunch sewing is going to start from, and I went ahead and sewed down the crunch on the headband, and you're going to be getting something like this. So the thing I went to do is I went ahead and applied glue on the headband to gum the scrunch together with the headband, and also to cover down the thread. So remember to go ahead and clean off any excess gum with your alcohol, and you'll be getting a clean and neat result like this. So this is me trying out the headband. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you love this video. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye for now.